They trained for months through rain, sleet, and snow for this past weekend's Toronto Marathon. Now I'm standing in the approximate spot where the finish line was this past weekend, and many crossed the finish line both exhausted and a little bit confused. The reason? Well, their GPS watches that they were wearing showed they had actually ran an extra kilometer. And the apparent, alleged miscalculation has many runners saying it cost them a spot in the Boston Marathon.
When I crossed the finish line, my watch said I ran 43.4 kilometers.
And you're supposed to be running 42.2.
Yeah. So that's a big, big, big difference.
When I was running, I looked down at my watch, I saw 40 kilometers on my watch, and the 39-kilometer marker was in front of me.
What goes through your mind at that moment?
Call an Uber. Call an Uber. I'm not kidding, though. Yeah, I thought about that a couple times.
For Megan Carlomusto and Aaron Tremblay, it was a disappointing feeling, but for their friend Carolyn Agnew-Hall, the potential inaccuracy is a crushing one. She was 4 minutes off the time she needed to qualify for the Boston Marathon.
I would have qualified for sure.
CityNews reached out to Toronto Marathon organizers today to ask them how many other complaints they've received and how they calculate the course. No one responded to our multiple emails and Facebook messages we began sending this morning, so we hit the pavement in our CityNews SUV for a very unscientific measurement of the route. We reset two odometers in the vehicle and an independent GPS that uses satellite, the same technology the watches racers were wearing this weekend. We began where the race started, northbound on Yonge Street, just north of Shepherd. We had to use Google Maps to measure the kilometers around Humber Bay Park, where we couldn't drive. When we added up our totals together, the good old-fashioned odometer had the race total at 42.6 kilometers. The total for our GPS using satellite technology, 43.7, more than a kilometer longer than a marathon should be. Is it plausible maybe that satellite distances were off on the watches and not the race?
Not that many people. So. Not that many people, and we all have different watches too.
How many people would you say that you've heard from?
I'm going to say about 30, because I literally stood on the street corner by Brazenhead and was just asked. Every time I saw somebody with the big medal, I was like, what does your watch say? Every single person that passed me was saying the same thing.
So what's going on? One professor at Ryerson University has a theory. He believes the race length may have been accurate and that the obstacles along the route could have been an issue for the satellites way up in the sky.
These bridges and also the high-rise buildings de-block the GPS signal either totally, like the case of bridges, or partially when we have high-rise buildings. There is also another possibility, which is called multipath, which is a kind of reflection of the GPS signal when we get a high-rise building, for instance. So the part of the GPS signal gets reflected off the glass or metal structure or something.
When it comes to calculating a marathon, accuracy is everything. On the Toronto Marathon's website, it says the distance of the race is certified, though how they reach that certification is still unknown this hour since they did not respond to our multiple questions.